gladly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Good morning. I am with Gabrielle Mengesha, and she is our local and state writing contest winner. And she is going to read her writing for everyone this morning. And she left Terra Terrace a couple of months ago, but she's going to be back with us again next year. And she is from Miss Cooper's class in third grade. And here you go, Gabrielle. Go ahead and read your story.
Thank you. My Shining Life. Let me introduce myself. My name is Gabriella and I am 9 years old. I first became interested in dancing when I was little and living in Ethiopia, where I was born. When I was in Ethiopia, my family and I watched a lot of our traditional Ethiopian dancing in person because we didn't have good internet service. When I came to America, I discovered American dances on TV. It was unusual to me because we didn't have YouTube in Ethiopia. Then I tried. I was not good at first, but I tried and tried. Then I started to get good at it. It was hard work, but it paid off. So I showed my dad how I could dance. In Ethiopia, there are different kinds of dances. I'm going to name 4 of them. Weleno, Garagen, Tigrina, and Walatina. In America, I like all the different types of dances. I like hip-hop, freestyling, jazz, stepping, tap, contemporary, and more. My favorite dance is freestyling. That's when I use contortion and stepping. Stepping, which was born from in Africa, was the hardest for me to learn. I love dancing so much. I have a dancing studio, but don't get too excited. It is my garage. In my free time, I go to my garage to get my anger out by dancing. First, I find my phone. Then, I find a good place to hold it so I can dance without holding it. Some people tell me that I'm not good at dancing, so I thank them because if they didn't say I'm bad at dancing, I would have never worked so hard every single day to reach my goal of becoming a professional dancer. Thank you for listening to my story.
And do you want to say anything to the people in Miss Cooper's class?
Yes. Hi, I miss all of you guys so much.
Okay, and would you like to tell everybody how you felt about writing before you started writing for this competition?
Oh, yeah. So before I started writing for this competition, I really didn't care about writing that much because I wasn't that good at it, and sometimes I thought there was no use of writing.
Okay, and how do you feel about writing now that you won both locally and the state competition?
So I feel like when you win something, you get much more confident in the thing that you won on. So now I feel like much more confident in writing. And now when I write, I do much more details, much more,
Self-correcting and looking
Mhm.
at your writing before you turn it
Yeah.
in?
Mhm.
Okay, awesome. Well, it is so awesome to see you, and I can't wait for both you and your sister Isabella to come back to school next year, okay?
Okay.
All right, you have a great day, and I know you miss everybody in Miss Cooper's 3rd grade classroom.
Good morning, Tigers. I am here today to talk about the Young Authors Writing Competition put on by the National Reading Association. This year's theme was Let Your Light Shine. And my name is Miss Woods. I'm the ESL teacher here. And students from all over the state of North Carolina submitted entries into this contest. Only 10 were actual winners from Onslow County. 2 of them were from our school right here at Terra Terrace. One of them was myself. I entered the Forever Young category, and then Gabrielle Mengesha from 3rd grade, Miss Cooper's class, won in the 3rd through 5th grade category. I love to write, and I think writing is as important as reading, and loving to write is as important as loving to read. So from the words of the president of the association, I wanted to read to you a little bit about what she wrote about the contest this year. Selecting this year's theme, Let Your Light Shine, was no easy feat, but seemed to provide a way for us to embrace positivity when we may have needed it the most. It's not always easy to see the light or even find the light within us when life seems as though it's been turned upside down, but it's there. Many of you shared amazing stories about those who have influenced you and impacted your life through their positive actions, encouraging words, and compassions. Others of you have provided a window into how you have been a much-needed light shining in a time of darkness. What an inspiration. And that is from Denise Owens, the NCRA president. Now, Gabrielle wrote an article entitled My Shining Life, and she did an excellent job where she chose to write about how dance has inspired her to be that shining light. And I wrote a story entitled Becoming an Overcomer. and I'm going to share that with you now. Becoming an overcomer. Have you ever wondered what it takes to become an overcomer and how some people seem to cope while others fall apart? Have you ever wondered what makes the foster child who moves from home to home succeed? I can't answer that question for every foster child, but I can answer it for this one. You see, I was a foster child back in the 70s. I came to live in foster care through no fault of my own. I chose to use this situation as a learning experience, whether good or bad, in order to shape my future family. It was at my first foster home that I learned what it might be like to become a mom, and how I came to want to be a foster mother myself one day. Due to the foster mother recently having had a child of her own, I was assigned a toddler to take care of on a trip to visit her family. We took a Greyhound bus to Illinois, and we were all split up. I quickly grew attached to this baby as he clung to me. During the trip, I fed, diapered, and entertained the baby. I was even referred to as his mother by random strangers. I never corrected them. Sadly, I never got to say goodbye to this toddler, which haunted me for years. My observations of how I wanted to handle problems that develop as a parent actually began while living in my second home. It was there that a not-so-terrible accident happened that I observed, which began my note-taking. We were unloading groceries when a foster sister of mine dropped a dozen eggs onto the floor and burst into tears. Having learned from my biological home that breaking eggs could earn you a beating, I was immediately set on alert. However, I observed from this particular foster mother that it was no big deal. In fact, she told her child not to cry, it was just eggs, and she helped her clean it up. At that moment, I knew that that was how I wanted to handle accidents when I had children of my own. It was also at that moment that I realized that growing up was a temporary situation, and I could either learn from it and use it as stepping stones to a brighter future or be destroyed by it. This is the home that sparked my desire to have a Christian home someday. In 2005, I received the Janie Brandon Lifetime Achievement Award for being a former foster child who took in 19 foster children. I've always tried to view hardships as stepping stones to a brighter future and not roadblocks. While my life has not been perfect, I have become a lifelong learner and have adjusted my view on family many times. You too can become a lifelong learner and create the future family of your dreams. What will you do with yours?
Thank you.